All the way from London, England, welcome to the Less Consulting Puff podcast. Today Alisdair and Jeet are going to make their SAP Sapphire predictions.
Dragon ERP help mid-tier leadership teams shape their SAP transformation journey. Request your copy of our SAP SaaS ERP Mid-Tier Customer Adoption Guide.
Right, here we go. Good afternoon, Jeet. How are you?
Brilliant, doing good. How are you?
Yeah, cool. So welcome to another edition of Less Consulting Puff podcast. We're doing a few of these now, which are really good. So today is the start of Sapphire. So Sapphire Orlando gets underway, keynote tomorrow, and then we're off to Madrid. So a lot going on in the SAP space. SAP aren't saying too much, obviously. So I thought we'll spend 10 minutes and we'll just call out what our key predictions are. You know, I've always got a lot to say. Want to hear from you as well. So let's just get underway. I think the first thing I've got to say going into Sapphire is really big well done to Christian Klein. People knock him, people knock SAP, but SAP's still flying. And big testament to what he's done over the last year in terms of the reorganization with SAP, moving in more and more resource back out to sort of like Southeast Asia, but lots of good stuff. Okay. So I'm going to start with my prediction number one. Okay. And it's to do with S/4HANA Public Cloud, which we clearly love. We've done some podcasts already, Jeet, me and you, talking about SAP SaaS ERP. And I think the number one thing I would call out, which we're hopefully going to see in Sapphire, is greater focus around mid-tier API integration. You know, they are cloud-centric, they are cloud-first. And S/4HANA Public is fantastic, but when it comes to integration and APIs, nowhere near as good as NetSuite. So that's my first point. I think my second call out would be in terms of BW. When SAP Business Data Cloud was announced, I did a few podcasts, wrote a big blog about it. My view was the only way to make that stick is to monetize BW, because BW is like ECC in terms of a cash cow. No one's moving away from BW en masse. So my next prediction is specific AI agents just built around BW coming out of BDC. For me, that's a cash cow. That's linking a cash cow into AI, into Foundation and BDC. Tick, tick, tick. Lead does what Christian talks about, linking the dots. I think my next call out is again not so obvious. We've seen a lot of focus on S/4HANA. We've seen a lot of focus on Ariba. I think there'll be a lot of focus now on CX and Sales Cloud. So going back to the Business Suite and the retro Business Suite, back in 2006, 2007, CRM7 dominated CRM space, absolutely dominated it. And I think we're starting to see SAP reclaim that now. So I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff in the CRM space. And I know there's a lot of AI getting linked into there. So that's my third. My fourth call out is toolchain. So we're seeing Thomas talking more and more about toolchain. So that's those investments in Signavio, LeanIX, and then linking into SAP LM. You know, the enabling tools. Spend a lot of money on Signavio and LeanIX. I think toolchain will be a big focus. And my final prediction is a cheeky one, and I've got to thank my pal Gary for bringing this to my attention. Okay, so SAP mobility. So it's not about old age pensioners whizzing around in scooters. It's about SAP's solution, Cloud Bolt-on app, which enables organizations who are putting in recharging points and all the scenarios around revenue recognition for charging points and that whole end-to-end process. So a little bit out there, but not quite niche. So they're my funky five. What about you? What are you expecting to see?
Yeah, I mean, this year's Sapphire is going to be really important, as well as we are seeing that there's a lot of capabilities that are building on the AI side of it. So definitely, in terms of the AI, I think we'll see a lot more announcement, and these are like AI native enterprises. And one of my prediction, and this is not for this year but long term, is SAP would be gearing up for the ERP AI native applications as well. So they will be building more and more apps to start with in terms of the AI. So that's the key one around it. I think we'll hear a lot about the dual AI embedded across all SAP apps, S4HANA, Ariba, SuccessFactor. And then we'll also have AI scenario hub on BTP. I think BTP is quite key. So that's the key one. And also, one of the key things from the customers' benefits side, I feel they are going to announce auto-generated insights as well. So they might call it insights and Joule. I think they can name it whatever they want, but it will be more around auto-generated insights as well. So for the better decision making, I think that's the key one. I think the second, as you pointed out, is sustainability as well. So Green Ledger, I feel that going to come through, so that's very important one. One of the key thing is, and this is like every year's theme, basically we have been hearing about RISE and Signavio and the other tools that are coming along. We'll have further announcement in terms of the RISE Plus. They might also call it like RISE Pro or something. But there would be specific for each of the markets as well. So, but industry-focused RISE applications. So that's quite key. And then I think this is my favorite one actually. I feel the public cloud one, and especially the way it is currently, they might shift towards more like a zero custom code. So right now, still they have reduced the implementation time for the public cloud, but they might even go further and provide something like off the shelf with the zero custom code on the S4 side. So that would be interesting to see that space, because this is the one where we are seeing maximum push from the SAP, but also from the customer. There is a need from the customers, especially on the mid-tier ERP side as well.
Yeah, so just to break that, give me a little, I'm interested in that. Give me a little bit more. What do you think? Where do you think it's going to go?
Sorry, which one?
So to that last point, just in terms of the mid-tier, how do you think SAP could improve on that?
I mean, so first of all, they have come along quite a long way in terms of the public cloud. So we are seeing a lot of functionalities that are being delivered as part of public cloud. But still, if I look at the business, especially managing the assets, inventory, those are still the areas where each of the organizations have very unique and specific requirement as well. So they might come up with the industry solution within the public cloud with a zero code. So wherein customers can get a faster ROI.
Yeah, no, I think it's really good. I mean, I think you've actually some really good insights there. I mean, I think the one I like most, I think, is the one about the industry specific RISE. I think that's very insightful, because I think when you're starting to look at the customers now, and one of the selling points about SAP, whether it's public or private, is that whole bit about the partner ecosystem investing more and more in to SAP now, and there's a lot more plug and play functionality to the side which you can bolt on. You got to pay for it, clearly, but so I think that's very insightful. I like what you said about the Green Ledger. I think sustainability is key. One of the real major benefits of S/4HANA for a number of years has been the whole same sustainability control tower added on with the green ledger. So I think that's cool. I think a couple of other points I had in my mind were just what we're seeing in terms of linking up Walk Me with Joule. I think that's gonna be really great in terms of driving productivity. So we'll probably see more of that because I think Walk Me is part of the tool chain. So that's cool. I just think it's just gonna be interesting. I think the other thing is not so much around functionality, but SAP has still got a bad rap in terms of RISE infrastructure as a service, performance and SLAs, 99.7. Most people want 99.9. If you want that, you've got to pay more. Thomas has come in, he's going to fix the whole service piece. So I'm expecting good things. I'm expecting this Sapphire to see more, as you said, about the licensing. Christian said back in November last year, he'd sort out licensing and the whole contract piece, which is even got clients today still really confused around basis and who does what.
Yeah, I totally agree on that point as well. Which again, it all depends upon whether they want to and how simplified they want to do for the SAP customers as well. I mean, right now, if you look at the way they are pricing it, they have created multiple tiers in terms of the various versions that they are selling, and within those versions as well. So you have like some are like mandatory, some are optionals. Items as well, and for some you actually pay for it, so it becomes a big matrix in terms of like how do you actually buy. Should you go for the base version and add some stuff, or go for the 1+ model or a premium one, sort of thing. So those are the key continuous decisions that business has to take in terms of getting the better value and the ROI. Yeah, I mean, it will be a good idea if they can simplify some of these licensing around the offerings that they currently have.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because we talk to different customers, big customers, and they're all having different experiences with RISE in terms of what are they getting. And one of my constant conversations at the moment is don't buy max attention unless you really want to and need to, because a lot of what's in max attention, SAP should be offering you for free. And then as part of that, I mean, back in 2015, early S4 implementation, customer was going on to AWS, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to log on and go through AWS, just simply tick what you wanted in terms of the service. And then as you're going along, the pricing sheets you can see what you're paying for every month. And I think that's what you need from RISE almost. Well, it's not called RISE now, whatever they want to bloody call it. But I think that's what you really want, is that ability to just be prescriptive about what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Christian made promises about enterprise architecture support. I'm not really seeing that. But I think in general, I mean, we mustn't be negative. I think it's going to be a really good RISE. I think SAP are going great guns at the moment. And I think we'll catch up in a couple of weeks' time and we'll have a conversation about what we saw come out of RISE.
So some of these products itself are like very transitory in nature as well, and we'll see much more refined in the coming years, especially on the rise on the AI Joule we have seen. So I'll still consider them they're quite at the early stage of the overall innovation as well. So we'll still see more features coming in terms of this native AI apps in BTP, the more on the functionalities on top of the existing that they're providing. So all this needs to be as we go along. We will see much more features that are coming along as part of both AI platform and also BTP.
Yeah, I mean, I think my last point would be I just want to see every customer get Signavio and LeanIX for free. That's what I want. I want every customer to get those two, because if they get those two, then every customer sets up for success. Essentially, you can't go wrong with those two.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're great tools. They're great tools. So again, either they make it more simplified in terms of their offerings, either they make it part of the bundle. But right now, it's on the face of it, we say one contract, but within that one contract, there's a lot of pick and choose. Options are available. So if we can simplify that, that will help customers in long run.
Yeah. Great. Right. Good to talk to you. We'll speak
Brilliant.
in a couple of weeks' time. See you later, mate.
Yeah.